necessity. Having once entered upon this grand subject, I determined to make this series of questions nearly, if not quite exhaustive, and therefore continued my inquiries, receiving answers as before. For it began to repeat, no well-meaning human being can possibly ask a question, the answers to which is not recorded somewhere upon the secret tablets of the soul. In response to further interrogatories, many grand truths came flowing forth into the great halls of consciousness, and amongst other things, I learned the purpose of sex on earth was pure cohabitation, and proper human and God-sanctioned marriage, with prolification or soul incarnation as the result. But I also saw that this purpose was accomplished on earth, and that the use of sex was ended at death, that it absolutely does not exist in the soul world, but in the middle state as a terrible fantasy, lust, and all other abominations abound. And I saw that one great cause of moral looseness of thousands of sensitive nerved people on earth resulted from infernal possessions and obsessions of their persons by delegations of those realms of darkness and, to all but themselves, unmitigated horror. A sensitive man or woman, no matter how virtuously inclined, may, unless by prayer and constant watchfulness they prevent it, and keep the will active in the sphere entire, be led into the most abominable practices and habits. Many of these denizens of the mid-regions of space are insane, and the higher sense all are so, and then them lust and its gratifications, dram drinking, and malpractices of all sorts is a reality, although to others they are cruel fantasies. The belief of these unfortunates results from their former habits, voluntary self-illusions, and their old memories and associations, and they are devil kings, gamblers, and keep of seraglios, something on the same principle that a straw-crowned maniac is to himself, and the other is his ilk, a regal, impotent, brow-grimmed monarch, a species of insanity generally the result of personal excess and congenital disease, and one, also, that is very difficult to cure, either in the spirit world or else, for the reason that no man can be healed, morally or physical, from or by external applications. The recreative work must be commenced and carried on from within, or not at all. Question: are the destinies of all human beings parallel? No. On earth there are 7 distinct orders of mankind, and so are beyond it. It is difficult to name these last without resorting to Oriental terms, but as these will serve to convey something of the truth, I will attempt to classify them as follows. First, spirits, angels. Second, seraphs. Third, arcephs. Fourth, aeons. Fifth, aracephs. Sixth, archaeons. Seventh, antarphim. Question: is that all? No. The highest of the last 5 orders, ultimate in a perfection whereof the human mind cannot conceive. They become daons, or supreme order of creative intelligence and energies, whose power, in combination, is only second to that of infinite God himself. These constitute the towering hierarchy of the supernal heaven. Their number is infinite, nor hath ever a man born on earth reached nearer their glorious state than the second on the list, seraphs. Question: they are creative energies, you say? If so, where is the field of their activities? Answer: the amorphous universe circumvolving the material creation. Question: is space then bounded? Yes. Question: by what? I have just answered. Question: but what proof is there that this tremendous statement is correct? Answer: the nebulous masses revealed by the telescope, masses constantly being ladled out, so to speak, of the immense sea of nascent matter, by an awful power to whom that mighty task is assigned, and by those same powers changed or condensed into fire mist, cometary bodies, suns, planets, life-bearing earths. Question: then man is, in very deed, almost a god? Answer: you have said. Question: he creates worlds and becomes the deity of his creation? Answer: man is a godling, These were a few of the answers that came to me as we turned from the precipice and moved on towards the Sylvian grove. Measured by earthly clocks, I had been but 2 hours in the soul world, but felt that I had endured for centuries. I soon discovered the reason of this. There is, as I said before, a great sympathetic chain extending from the soul to soul, over and through all past time, and up to God likewise. And on the plane of the great sympathia, at every point someone stands. That someone can scan the past, the present, and the future in just proportion to his or her unfolding. And the true blending of the soul with some others put the last in possession of all outer may have attained. I loved and was loved by one who stood high therein, and the intuitions of my soul were quickened by his presence. Purity is the price of power. Years of earth must have passed since the auspicious opening of their inner life. Much greater and higher knowledge has since flowed into my soul, portions of which will, ere long, be given to the world by the same pen which indited every line this book contains, save the preface. At present I am, with mine, endeavoring to gain wisdom as hand in hand, heart bound up in heart, and soul blended with the soul, we together are happily, joyously climbing up the sky. Future generations will marvel at the bigotry and stupidity of the wise men of the 19th century, just as we do at the absurd folly of the crusades of the wars of Troy. Much more will they marvel at the astonishing inconsistency of the teachers of the day. Here, there, everywhere, we are told that Jews killed God because God wanted to make better people of them and establish a belief in human immortality. After they had slain the incarnate deity, we are taught that people repented of their terrible crime of deicide, and during 1900 years have been professedly trying to make amends by proclaiming that the very doctrine which they killed him for inculcating, and yet, when men rise in their very midst, men who can tell the wondrous stories of life beyond the grave, they are hounded down to bitter death, utterly neglected, or else maligned, and by the very ones who believe, or pretended to, just